sheet that you have in front of you today, the first thing I want you to do is go through all of them and add your stems in the correct direction, okay? So by that I just mean we're using quarter notes, so based on the middle line rule, add your stems real quick. I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. Shouldn't take you long. And just look up when you're finished with that. Okay, everyone's done with that? All right, so the instructions for the rest of this is a really pretty simple ear training. What you're going to do is you're going to listen. I'm going to play the first pitch that's already there for you, and then I'll play a second pitch. And today, obviously, we've been talking about sharps and flats. So your job is to indicate, you're going to reiterate the same pitch. So I would put my same thing here, A, with the stem. But then as I'm listening, I'm going to decide, was that a A sharp or an A flat that I hear next? Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? Okay, that's all you're doing. Okay, you're just going to indicate you have to either add a sharp or a flat in front of the pitch. All right, so here's number one. Here's your first pitch. Sorry, here you go again. Here's your second pitch. So in that case, just by example, I'm going to say, okay, that one went up a half step, so I'm going to indicate that with a sharp, right? All right, so here we are on number two. Hopefully you've added your stem. Here's your pitch. Here's your second pitch. Anybody need to hear that again? Okay, here's number three. Again, we're on number three. Add your stem. Here's your beginning pitch, first pitch. Here's the second pitch. Here's number four. Here's number five. Here's number six. Number seven. And number eight. Okay, the last thing I want you to do is underneath it, the new notes that you wrote, for instance, I know that this is an A, therefore this is an A sharp. So underneath it, I'm going to write A sharp. So do that only under the notes that you added, okay? Okay, before we are finished today, I gave you another sheet of paper. Everybody's finished with this? I hope. Okay, I gave you one more sheet of paper today, and I'm going to show you this real quick because we're going to practice. This is what I was talking to you about earlier, that I saw some mistakes, okay, in our test. So if we were to rewrite this, guys, right here, as we read through it, I want to remind you, this right here is not a repeat sign. Do you see two dots or not? Aiden, can you put that away, babe? There are not two dots right here, so that is not a repeat sign. So you're gonna play or sing through the double bar line there because there's music past it. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way here, and then I read DC al fine. What does DC stand for, everyone? Da capo, which what did we learn that means? It's the Latin for what? From the beginning or from the head, okay? So that tells me I've got to go all the way back to the beginning. And then I'm going to stop al fine, to the finish. And I'm looking for the fine, and it's right here, okay? So when I rewrite this, we're going to do this one together, okay? And I don't care let's use the middle line, okay? So I'm going to write my quarter notes. You might not want to use the middle line because your stems are going to go a different direction. Start copying, but watch as you do it, what I'm doing. Make sure that you're doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue on. Here's where I get to the end, but it's not really the end. I've copied this measure right here, but it says to go back to the beginning. So I'm not finished yet. I've got to go back to the beginning, and I keep going. I'm repeating from the beginning. But this time when I get to the half note, I've come to the end and I'm finished. Fine, I'm done. Does everybody understand when I rewrite this what this should look like? Yes? Everybody with me? Go ahead and make sure you're copying that. Yes? Yeah, this one actually for rewriting, you're right. We could just have one bar line there and then a double bar line at the end. Okay? Okay, we're going to do one more today. This one we use da capo. The next one we're going to use dal segno. All right? So I'm going to fold mine down a little bit so you can see the next thing. Hopefully you understood that. And I've already got this one written in for you. From the sign, we're going to look back here to the sign to the fine. Here's the end. So if I'm going to rewrite this, you try it this time. We're going to just, you don't have to have a clef. I don't really care right now, okay? You're going to need more than one line. Choose whichever one you want, line or space. I'm still trucking on through. Here's where I come here and it says go back to the sign. I find the sign, it's right here. So I start copying right here again. And when I get to the fine, I'm finished. Everybody getting that? And the last one is here at the bottom. And this time it didn't actually include any of the music that would have been right here, okay? But it says as we're reading our music, we're reading across, we come here, we see a double bar line, but it says DC, which means from the head, a la coda. So I'm gonna go back to the head or the start of the music, and I'm gonna read, keep reading until I run into the coda. Then I'm gonna jump forward to the coda to finish. So copy this one down correctly. We're in 3/4 this time. This is the last one we're going to do today. Going back all the way to the beginning, da capo. So I got to go back to my dotted half notes. This time, when I get to the coda, I have to jump ahead, and I find that over here. So it's like a map. Maybe the first time you drive down to the Astrodome by yourself, right? You're going to be looking for signs as you go. You're not just going to get on 45 and keep driving. You'll end up somewhere you're not supposed to be, okay? You'll start on 45, but you'll watch for the exit ramp that you're supposed to take, right? Siri will probably talk to you a lot as you drive. We don't get that in music, but we do have these lovely symbols that we have to follow. Okay, so when we're reading music, we cannot just look at our notes and rhythms. We have to observe all the other markings that are there too, whether it's dynamics or whether it's tempo markings or whether it's map indicators, basically, right? What part to play when. So you have to be able to read it well. Any questions about this? Anybody still confused? Good, I'm hoping our people at home, we had a couple people at home that were a little bit confused about it. So I'm hoping they'll watch the video, okay? If you don't have any questions, that is it for today. If there's anything left of your homework on lessons 22 and 23, you can finish that, okay?